Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. I'd say it's good to be back, but you know me, I'm not one to lie. I don't do that with you all. It's
You've lied before.
It's back. What do you mean I've lied before? What have I lied about?
I don't know. Well, you pretend to like the Orioles.
I pretend to? Yeah. That's weird. It's a weird thing to think that I'm
We know you don't like the
about.
Ravens.
What?
Yeah.
What is this? Where did any of this come from? Yeah, we're back. Had a great time out in Las Vegas. Squeezed in as much Vegas as I could in a short amount of time. But alas, there's only so much Vegas that you can take. And at some point, if nothing else, Vegas was getting the best of my wallet. And I said, I can no longer allow that. And so I'm back. The Orioles have made. We got a weird message from Brian Powell yesterday. He was like, I don't remember what time it was. He said the over/under is 3.5. How many trades are there? I'm like, definitely take the over. Like, what 3.5? What are we talking about? But to the point, since then there've only been 2. So I guess I could just not trade any of the guys that we were talking about them trading before yesterday. Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, Charlie Morton. They could just trade none of them, and if they did that, then maybe that number stays. But I'm gonna guess that's not going to be the case. Ken Weinman will join us in a little bit. Jon Meoli of the Banner will join us later. We'll make a trip to Bowie this morning. It is a weird day to do a show because we're just waiting, right? Tomorrow we'll be able to react to everything. Tonight, I believe, Stan the Fan Charles, Luke Jackson. I think I'm going to try to hop on with those guys during their trade deadline reaction show. They had asked me that 2 weeks ago, and I was like, it depends on whether or not I survive Las Vegas. We'll talk about that after the events of Las Vegas, because I could be.
If you survive all your green tea shots.
Yes, all the green tea and the spark plug shots,
right.
all that nonsense.
Fun.
I had a frozen drink yesterday. Actually,
Wow.
I had a frozen beverage with our friend Joe Unitas. He did not. He had a man's drink. He had a Modelo. I thought we were doing I thought that was the bit, is that we were doing the cabana, we were doing the drinks by the pool, and so I ordered a frozen drink. And then he said,
how was it? What'd you get?
I don't know, a watermelon fresca, I believe it was called.
Sounds fun.
It was delicious. I'm being completely honest. It was tremendous. And then Joe said, and I will have a beer. I said, right. And it was a Modelo, too. Modelos are delicious. But, yeah, had a great time. What I was saying is it's weird because, we are still in the halfway mode of all of this. If you are stunned or floored or flummoxed, I guess I should say, Stan's show tonight brought to you by the Costas Inn, brand new Costas Inn in Timonium. Watch it live, facebook.com/PressBoxSports. If you miss it live, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline or PressBoxOnline.com/video. If you're floored by Ramon Urias being dealt yesterday, I don't know what to tell you. I don't This is the way that it works when you're a bad baseball team. There's an argument that even if the Orioles had been a good baseball team, it might have been time for them to think about Ramon Urias. And I know this is a difficult conversation because someone would say in response, well, isn't Ramon Urias perfect for the role that he was in? And don't you always need a Ramon Urias on your baseball team? To some extent, yes. And I can't tell you that Twine Palmer will prove to be something that has any actual value to the Baltimore Orioles at any point. But in a market where you're not good, where there is a minimal value to your asset, and you believe that the asset that you're acquiring may have value, this is pretty simple Pythagorean model stuff. There's really kind of no debate about that. Now, you can debate whether or not that'll prove to be true. It might very well be that Twine Palmer is just the next guy that, is a quad A pitcher, never really becomes anything that's helpful. We have no clue how that's going to play out. But the theory, there's no world where I can knock the theory. Ramon Urias, professional baseball player, should be replaceable by the next Ramon Urias, which might be Jeremiah Jackson down in Norfolk, right? Like, there should be another Ramon Urias that you can find. And we can say everything pleasant that we can say about Ramon Urias. And I'm not going to avoid saying those things. Ramon Urias was a professional baseball player. There were moments where you believed Ramon Urias was more than a professional baseball player. It became kind of a running gag on this show where, like, I convinced myself Ramon Urias was like a high-level baseball player. Then I actually looked at some of the metrics, and I was like, oh, how the hell did he win a Gold Glove? Like,
yeah, but he is a Gold Glover. So
he technically is a Gold Glover. That is technically true. And I think that season the metrics do shake out that it was fair. I don't know, but I think it was fair. But in all, Ramon Urias was a baseball player. Came up with some big hits from time to time, proved that he was capable of being at the major league level. Definitely not someone who should start. The Astros are in a unique situation where they need someone who can play right now, and Ramon Urias checks the box of can play. And so because of that, it creates a small amount of value. And if you want to say, well, Ramon Urias isn't a pending free agent, right, but he's also not a pending anything. He's not a pending difference maker. He's not a pending starter. He's not a pending... He's a guy that you could get to this time next year and realize he's about to walk and could have no value. Or he could be someone that you just don't feel like guaranteeing a roster spot to. Which isn't me saying that there's an obvious choice. I don't know enough about Jeremiah Jackson other than when we were watching the Norfolk Tides game a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what's the deal with this guy? What's his deal, man? It could be the machine. I don't know. I both appreciate the value that Ramon Urias brought to the Baltimore Orioles while not overvaluing it. I can't pretend like Ramon Urias is a difference-making baseball player. He's mostly a guy. But did his job, went out there, solid, respect. Appreciate you, pimp. Now I hope Twine Palmer proves to be John Means. Or insert name here.
Mike Mussina.
Sure, that would be even better. You're right. I don't think that's a very good or a very likely target, but you know what? I get it. Why not? Shoot for the stars.
Jim Palmer.
Sure, why not? Jim Palmer has found long lost family before. Maybe there's more long lost family out there. I can't be worked up about Ramon Urias. And this nitpicking about the returns that any of these trades have gotten, as I've said a million times before, the Orioles have not traded a valuable asset yet. They have not traded, and they likely won't trade, a valuable asset to anyone else. today, with maybe the exception of Morton, and we'll find out, and I'm still hard-pressed to believe it, but maybe someone who gets really desperate on maybe trying to acquire other pitchers, like the top end of the trade market. Most of those starters are still available, like Gore.
Yeah, Merrill
and
Kelly's been talked about.
Kelly
Zach Gallen
and Joe Ryan and
yeah. Well, those are the controllable guys. Yeah, like Kelly
right.
and Gallen.
I'm saying the high teams that are in on
Sandy,
the high end starting pitchers, but find those prices to be outrageous. Perhaps they pivot and say, let's just take Morton. Now, they're not going to pay an extraordinary price, but maybe out of desperation they pay some price. And for what it's worth, some of the prospect folks thought the Orioles had done fairly well on some of the early trades, given how minimal the value of the asset was. So, I'm not going to be that guy. Unless they were trading one of the actually valuable assets, this trade deadline was not going to provide such a wild influx of talent that it was going to dramatically change their reality. We've been through this before. If you had convinced yourself that there were going to be top 100 prospects coming in, you were crazy. They don't have those assets, or they're not trading those assets. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I guess that could change today. I mean, I know a lot of people are overreacting to Ramon Urias not being on the final. Ramon Urias not being a pending free agent is not a signal that suddenly they're going to trade Trevor Rogers. Now, it might. I'm not saying it's impossible either. I don't know. But the two do not correlate. There is not an equal sign between the two of them, or that like SAT. What do they call those SAT questions where they're like blank is to blank as blank is to blank?
If
then, is that what they call it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what they call it on SAT. It's the type of thing that like you spend a lot of time in high school thinking about, and you'll never think about
like
again.
Logic questions.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is no correlation between the Orioles dealt Ramon Urias, therefore they're clearly listening on anything. No.
Conditional statements.
Conditional statements? Is that what they were called? I don't even remember hearing.
If then is, yeah.
I don't even remember hearing that term for what it's worth. I believe you, but I don't remember hearing it. This is not signal Ali Oxen free. Ramon Urias isn't a guy. Ramon Urias is not the story of whether or not you can be competitive next year. It does not signal anything about next year. The Orioles traded Ramon Urias.
Did you watch them in August last year?
Thank you.
It was the Baltimore Ramon Urias.
Thank you. It signals nothing about their intentions for next year. Zero. The only real storylines today are, do somehow they end up holding on to one of the guys that we thought was a certainty to be dealt. And Kittredge was in that conversation, so he's already off the board, right? So the first storyline is, for whatever reason, and the only real reason would be because they won 5 out of 6 games and they were suddenly like, hell, Cedric Mullins is beloved. We can't really get anything for him. I don't know. Let's just run it. And we don't really have an immediate option to play center field. There is some weird scenario where the Orioles look at this and they say, everybody loves Cedric. We don't really, Colton Cowser, we don't think is our future center fielder. We think it's Enrique Bradfield. So we don't need to move Colton Cowser to center field. The offers that we've gotten for Cedric Mullins are next to nothing. And I would say probably even if they're next to nothing, you go ahead and make the trade. I mean, it would almost have to be that the offers are non-existent for Cedric Mullins. But maybe there's some bizarro scenario where all that plays out. But the guys that were at the center of definitely going to be dealt, the guys that everybody was fixated on this week, Mullins, O'Hearn, Morton.
Is Eflin in that group?
No.
Okay.
He's a secondary storyline. those three guys, and Kittredge was in that group, so he's already gone, does somehow one of them not get dealt for some reason? And it's almost impossible it's Morton or O'Hearn. Both of them presumably have enough value that you're definitely doing it. I don't know how to figure the Mullins thing.
Well, there's so much. Yeah.
The Mullins thing is like a weird. There's so little on the table. Maybe the market is not robust for his free agent services next year either. And like the Orioles go back to him and say, dude, we are not sure that Bradfield's ready. Would you think about a 1-year deal? Like, that seems offensive and all that, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to paint the scenario by which Mullins somehow doesn't get traded. And I would say that, like, to me, it's 99.9% on Ryan O'Hearn and Charlie Morton. It's like 98.2% on Cedric Mullins. Like, there's somehow just a little, wiggle room in there somehow, some way for something else to occur. But do I expect it? Not at all. The next storyline is the Zach Eflin storyline, and that's the one that we've been talking about for some time, which is just that the market isn't there, and the Orioles decide that what is available is not much more than what a qualifying offer would get you back. And so Eflin's storyline number 2 today. Can they get something for Zach Eflin that they believe is more valuable than door A or door B, late 20s, early 30s comp pick, or a year of Zach Eflin at $20 million next year? That's storyline 2. Storyline 3 today becomes, I guess, is there some bizarro world where they're in on a controllable pitcher? I find it unlikely. I know that we all overreacted to that tweet from Jim Bowden the other day, but they've got to get it at some point. Like, they have to find pitching. And if they're going to trade for it in the offseason, they could trade for it now. Arguably, they could be in on a controllable bullpen arm because they have to remake their bullpen. Now that's something we've been talking about. They are going to be in the market for like 3 to 4 relievers at the minimum this offseason.
What if they land Mason Miller?
Well, that would be something. Luke Jackson was joking with me last night. He's like, is Keegan Aiken the closer now?
What are we talking about? It's Corbin Martin.
It's Corbin Martin.
Yeah,
We already got the answer,
Corbin
right?
Martin.
We've already seen it. That's the guy.
Cold blood Corbin.
Sure. We'll go with that. So, yeah, I guess that's number 3 is there some storyline 3? Is there some world where somehow they're in on a controllable pitcher? And then, storyline number 4 is the guys that we don't think they're going to trade. And to me, that list at this point is just Rogers and Kramer. I just can't paint a scenario where is there anyone else that even remotely make? I mean, is there some team that wants Tyler O'Neill? Like, has he already made it clear that he's
opting? Who
right?
wouldn't?
Yeah. Is he already made it clear that he's opting out no matter
Yankees,
what?
if you're listening.
I don't know, man. I can't think of anybody else that fits that. I guess Mountcastle would be the other one that would go into that group. So that would be the 3. It would be Kramer, Rogers, and Mountcastle. Their storyline number 4. Do any of the guys that are not pending free agents?
Someone saw Brandon Young pitch the other day.
Right. Yeah, and said, gotta have that, man. That's the guy I gotta have. No, let's be reasonable.
Okay.
And it's a difference there because Mountcastle doesn't really have any value. That's probably, I hate to say it, but that's probably closer to a Urias trade.
Teams are looking at it and they're saying, well, I mean, Shane Bieber just got dealt and he hasn't thrown a major league pitch this season, so
right, but he's a pitcher.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Mountcastle's a positionless bat.
And he's on a 5-game hit streak in AAA.
There you go. It's changing everything. So those are your 4 storylines that lay out for today. And I think it's going to be boring in that I think the way that it's going to go is just they're going to trade Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, Charlie Morton. Maybe somebody gives you like a shoelace for Tomo Sagano. Like maybe. I've got this shoelace here. Do you need it? Like maybe. And then Laureano, I guess I didn't mention Laureano in this conversation because I don't know which group Laureano is in because he's a little bit more valuable than Ramon Urias, but he's not wildly valuable. Like he's not going to get you a major return. So if they trade Laureano, inevitably Orioles fans are going to be like, that's all. You had him under control for next year, and that's all you got? I guess Laureano is his own category. So maybe there's 5 storylines today, and Laureano is his own.
I should have set up a tier.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like a tier. My gut tells me Mullins, O'Hearn, Morton, all dealt. All dealt for sure. I said I'm 98% or above on those. On Eflin, I'm 65% is where I would draw that number. I think it's about there that he gets traded today. Laureano, I don't know. Sagano and Laureano. Sagano, for different reasons, I'd say I'm like 50-50 on Sagano, and I'm 50-50 on Laureano. But for Sagano, it's just who wants him. For Sagano, it's probably a team thinking like, dude, you might just release him next week. Like, you might just make him available. And for Laureano, is there going to be an offer? Or have they decided in a post-Mullins world, as I said before, that he's the stopgap in center field? Which isn't, it's square peg round hole, but there can be logic to it. So, yeah. Is there anybody else that what would the percentages be? Rogers, my percentage would be 10 no, that's too high. 7% chance that Rogers gets dealt. Kramer, he's got another year, so 5% on Kramer. And is there anybody else we didn't cover?
No, I don't think
Mountcastle. Mountcastle, a percentage. Mountcastle's like a 14 to 15% chance, right? Like he's more than the other two.
Well, I would have it lower just because to what you were saying. I don't know what the interest level is.
But I'm saying that the Orioles might be inclined to just.
Your percentage is just the Orioles' interest.
No, I'm saying the Orioles might. It's higher than the other two, not because.
Because they would do it.
Because the Orioles would be willing to do it, and they might be willing to do it on the cheap. They might be willing to just say, if it gets us a better, as Drew brought up yesterday, if it gets us a better return in another deal, take Mountcastle too. Now, is that going to get you a better return in another deal? Don't know. That's why it's still a low number, but I think it's a slightly higher number than the others. I don't remember what all my numbers were, but they're Bible. They're clearly, they're very likely. Come back in, talk to Ken Weinman. 105.7 The Fan, Inside Access. See what he thinks is going to happen today. He's also spent some time out in Owings Mills with the Ravens this week. We'll talk to him about that as well. Good to be back. A Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantopoulos family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner. Same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition and corporate gifts, visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smolka profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green, and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Thursday edition of the program. Today's show is also brought to you by the Maryland 5-Star. The Maryland 5-Star is back this October at Fair Hill in Cecil County. Get your tickets right now by going to Maryland 5-Star. That's Maryland 5-Star with a number 5.us. Everything that you could possibly want in a fall celebration here in Maryland. It's a world-class sporting event, including the Triple Crown of Equestrian. It's also got the Corgi Cup, the ponies, the Food and Wine Festival, incredible shopping. If you haven't experienced it, make sure you check it out. Maryland 5-Star with the number 5, Maryland5star.us. We continue to play the waiting game, so let's let this guy play the waiting game with us from Inside Access over on 105.7 The Fan. I actually thought about him because of a tweet that he sent yesterday that said that sounds, very normal. Maybe it wasn't yesterday, maybe it was today. I don't know. All the days are running together because I just lost an entire evening last night. I didn't sleep. Joining us now, he is Ken Weinman. What's going on, buddy? Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. A little jealous I didn't get an invite to the Backstreet Boys concert, but beyond that,
you've been busy running. Stop it! You've been busy running around all year. You've been doing bachelor parties and honeymoons, and you've been all over the place, man. You've had a good year.
It's been okay.
Yeah.
It's been okay.
It isn't the Backstreet Boys. You're right about that.
The Sphere is the Sphere, man.
First of all, have you been to the Sphere?
I've been outside of it. So
okay.
I'll make a long story short. If the Ravens would have went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, they were sending a show out to Vegas for the week, and Margie, my now wife, had bought tickets to see U2 at the Sphere that Friday. But when they lost to the Chiefs, we sold the tickets.
I partnered with the Circa to be out there this week, and we were going to do that week at the Circa. We actually weren't even going to do Radio Row. We were just literally going to hang out by the pool at the Circa in Vegas all week, which would have been amazing. And a buddy.
I think you hooked me up with your boy Oster when I went out there.
That is correct. That's my guy, Aaron Oster. Love him. Used to be a DC guy, and. Did you end up getting to the Circa while you were there?
Yeah, we went to Stadium Swim, but it was windy, super windy. So
that's a bummer.
It was a bad day. But we spent the whole day at the Circa, and your guy was great.
Great place.
We loved the book. It was awesome.
Yeah, the book's tremendous. It's one of the biggest books in Vegas, and of course, VEASAN's right there. But Yeah, we also had U2 tickets for that weekend, so it was a bitter pill. It was a bitter.
Yeah.
Like, I kept trying to explain to anybody, if you think you're angry about the Ravens losing, like, because everybody always gets on me because I don't, like, scream and piss. You know, I won't be that guy. Like, I think you and I are kind of similar in that way. Like, we're more
I get
practical.
angry, but I don't scream. I leave that to Jason.
Right.
Yeah.
But he screams about everything.
No, that's who he is. It's authentically him.
I guess. So, I was like, dude, if you think you're mad, my God, what I'm missing out on this week, spare me.
Correct.
Spare me. But yeah, would you go with, like, the Backstreet Boys bit? Would you go have the time that I had, where you are willing to sing along to every song and be shameless and not have to be like, oh, this isn't cool, I'd rather be at Metallica? Like, would you be willing to do that?
I'm probably going to lose points here, but I'd rather see the Backstreet Boys than Metallica.
Hell yeah!
Like, I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not. I've had opportunities to see Metallica and I turn it down. Now,
really?
I wouldn't go see the Backstreet Boys at like the York State Fair, but to see them at the Sphere, I would do that in a heartbeat.
10.5, man. It was amazing. I would go back, however, for Metallica, for the record. I would go back.
I would go to see him at the Sphere, but this is where I am on Metallica. Like, I think Unforgiven 2 is a good song. So, like, that's who I am.
So,
I'm not
it's really, that they did that record with the Symphony a few years ago. I don't know, they had 20 years ago, whatever it was at this point. And, like, all the Metallica fans hated it, and I'm like, I loved it. It's like, I thought it was
I'm a weirdo. Yeah.
All right, let's just talk about, because the tweet that you sent that I appreciated, and again, I think this is where you and I are similar, was you said, I'm not angry about what the Orioles are doing now. This is what they should be doing. I'm angry they're in this position because of an utterly incompetent offseason. And look, inevitably, they're going to trade Cedric Mullins today. That's going to happen, and I hate that.
And Ryan O'Hearn.
Yes, that's going to happen, and I hate it. And they're also not going to get much for those guys. Like, that's the other part that people aren't going to like. It's not going to change most likely, it's not going to change the Orioles' reality. There's probably not even going to be a Yusniel Diaz that they're going to acquire, although hopefully someone who pans out more. But that's
good in airports.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the reality of where they are. Like, that's it. That's how this works. You make the trades, you get whatever you can get, and you got to do a whole hell of a lot better going into next year.
They did such a poor job this offseason, and everything was based on best-case scenario. And what I mean by that is, well, Grayson's going to be an ace, and Zach Eflin's going to stay healthy, and Sagano's going to take the world by storm, and Felix will be 100% from day one, and all of their young guys will continue to be arrow pointed up. So if everything is sunny and good, then that sounds great. But you're not accounting for things that could go wrong. And Sagano has been, after a nice start, has been, frankly, pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Morton was their pivot from Burns, who they were never going to sign in the first place. And Charlie Morton is going to net them something because after being arguably the worst starting pitcher in baseball for the first 2 months, he's been good. Eflin got hurt again. They've had regression from almost all of their players, save for Jackson Holiday. It's just what they did this offseason. I don't like to be this guy, but other organizations, this will get you fired for like having a team that won 100 games 2 years ago and then acquired Corbin Burns and you called it liftoff and now you're sitting here. It took a lot of work to go from being that good to that bad. And I know injuries play a part, but when you plan everything for best case scenario and best case scenario doesn't happen, then the other things happen. That's why you're sitting where you are right now. And where you're sitting right now is bad. And also, I don't want to hear people crying about Ramon Urias. He should have stopped stealing at bats from Kobe Mayo 2 months ago.
Well, and the argument, I don't remember who was it that made it. It might have been John Heyman who said, and this signals that maybe he's not a pending free agent, so the Orioles are willing to listen on anyone. I'm like, yeah, he's not a pending free agent, but he's not a pending anything. Like,
no, he's a guy, and
right.
I like him. And
100%.
I know fans love guys.
Yep.
Glenn, you know this. People love the name on the back of the jersey more than the name on the front of the jersey. And Ramon won a Gold Glove, and Ramon's gotten some key hits. But Ramon is a guy.
Right.
He is a guy with a good glove, and those guys are replaceable. He's like a one-war player, and those guys, you can find them. And if you trade them. I don't care. But they got some kid that the one thing you can feel okay about with Mike Elias is he seems to know young talent. If they like this kid, Palmer, I know nothing about him, but that's the market value for Ramon Urias. Okay, he's a lottery ticket. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and that's Ramon Urias. You should be able to find another Ramon Urias. You found Ramon Urias. You should be able to have some other Ramon Urias the next couple of years, he is a professional baseball player. There's no question about that. He deserves to be a Major League Baseball player, but that's what he is, and we can't pretend like he's more than that. That's the entirety of what he is. Is there any world to you that can the bigger storyline to me, like the actual interesting part, because the pending free agents aren't interesting. It's just get whatever you can get for them.
Yeah.
The interesting part to me has always been, is there any argument for trading beyond that? And I say that because what I'm introducing is another question, which is how far away are they? How bad has this last year been? Are they really a couple of moves away from being World Series contenders in 2026? And if they aren't, then should they be listening on Trevor Rogers too?
So the question about Rogers and would I listen? Sure. I do wonder, since it's only 8 starts, what his value is. And if it's immense, then yeah, I'm listening. I would be willing to listen on more than the expiring contracts. Like, you signed Ramon Urias to be a 4th outfielder, and he was available, weeks before the start of the season, and you got him, and he's got a very palatable option. You're probably going to get more for Ramon Urias than you got for just about anybody else you've traded so far. I'm listening on Ramon Urias, and here's a sneaky one for you. And I know they just gave him his own damn section, but if you can get something legitimate for Colton Cowser, wouldn't you listen for that? Like, if that's going to help you get a controllable pitcher,
that's
what you need,
right? In that context,
I'm going down down a hypothetical rabbit hole here. But if Colton Cowser can net you a controllable pitcher, then that's something I got to listen to. And you say, how good are they? Like, the core for me, I think Westberg's a stud. Obviously, Gunner's a stud. I think Jackson Holliday's going to be a stud. Adley Rutschman had been bad for a year before he got hurt. He looks – it's a small sample, but the ball seems to be flying off his bat again in his last few days, but that's not telling me he's back. And quite frankly, he's regressed as a defensive catcher as well, so that scares me. But, okay, I'll play that benefit of the doubt. I'll put him in the core. And I'll put I'm being the most optimistic I possibly can be. Mm-hmm. I'll put Basayo in the core. Felix Bautista comes back healthy. By the way, what would he have netted? Like, if you were willing to listen to him before he got hurt. Yeah. Okay, I'll put Felix in the core. I'll put Trevor Rogers in the core. Grayson Rodriguez is made of glass. I can't put him in anywhere. Nope. That guy has yet to get through a season. Bradish is coming off Tommy John, so I can't put him in anything. Tyler Wells is coming off Tommy John. I can't. So they're going to need to be very aggressive and smart this offseason, which I don't know that I can give them the benefit of the doubt that they can do.
And this is where I am, which I am with Ken Weinman here on Inside Access. I know what they should be doing. I know what this should look like. This should look like you recognize this was a failure last offseason. But, I mean, there's a few things that should have happened. My opinion is they should have hired a manager some time ago. I can't believe they still haven't hired a manager. I think that's insane. Yeah. Spare me we want to cast the widest net. This is such an unmitigated disaster. You needed someone to bring accountability to this group of players for some time. But I would say they needed to hire a manager. We can talk about Mike Elias. I think he's going to survive this, but, the points that you brought up are fair. I mean, they definitely are fair. This is certainly fireable offense, but I think he's going to survive. And then they should be spending, real money, legitimate money, to address the following things, which they need all of this. They need probably 2 starting pitchers, with one being a top-of-the-rotation-ish starting pitcher.
Yes.
Another being at least somewhere around a number 3. They need now legitimately 3 to 4 leverage bullpen arms in the offseason. And they probably still need one more outfield bat in the offseason.
Glenn, they need a legitimate adult everyday player,
right.
a guy that has been in the playoffs, hopefully has won a World Series, a guy that can talk to all these kids who have never experienced anything and seem to go into the tank whenever things go wrong. They need a guy in that room that's why I was pounding the drum a year ago for J.D. Martinez. And J.D. Martinez is now near the end.
Right.
But J.D. Martinez has won a World Series, has been in multiple playoffs, and knows what the grind is about. And there is not a single adult in that room. And by the way, they got rid of Freddie Gonzalez in the offseason, so there are no adults in the coaching staff either.
And that's the other part about this. Like when they hire, they need an experienced manager that brings accountability on day one and the willingness to hire that staff. And they need to shift the way the control works between ownership, front office, and on-field management, right? Like there's a lot of things that need to happen for me to buy that they can contend for a World Series next year. And do I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, believe that all of those things are going to happen? Probably not. And so
unless you're the sorry to interrupt. You're the ultimate optimist, they have given you a long runway of the way they operate, which frankly makes you pessimistic that they can do something different because they have a way. They are deliberate, incredibly deliberate about bringing the prospects up. They do not bring them up at times when other teams would bring them up. And remember, Grayson got hurt in the minors when people thought he should have been up and cost him his chance to debut that year. Adley got hurt in the minors when people thought he should have already been up. They waited longer on Gunnar than people thought they should. They wait on everybody too long. They also don't spend aggressively. This offseason, that Tyler O'Neill, which by the way, he's going to opt in because he stunk this year.
There's no
but
market.
That was they never in any world thought this was going to be more than a 1-year deal. They have not given a legitimate multi-year deal out to anyone. So what makes you think they're going to spend aggressively this offseason unless it's a demand from ownership, which do I think is possible? I do. I'm very curious. Let me just say I'm very curious. Not about Rubenstein, but about the Arrighetti guy who is younger and is going to eventually be the owner of this team. And I'm just things I've heard. I'm very curious how he's feeling right now.
It's far more interesting to me. As I've said before, every ounce of the work that I've done about David Rubenstein, I have sensed that this is a hobby to him.
Passion project.
That's sort of all, and not. But I don't even like using passion project because it invokes the word passion. I'm not.
But it's more about it's the hometown team, and he's a hometown guy. It's like this is like. I like going. Not that this is a bad thing, but for fans, it ain't great. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to wear my hat. I'm going to throw some hats.
But I've got bigger fish to fry in the end, and that's the part that I've gotten with David Rubenstein. It's like, and you can't get me to care deeply about whether James McCann or Gary Sanchez should have been the backup catcher on this baseball team. That is, I am traveling to Davos and doing economic forums. And
complaining about salary cap.
Right, correct. That's a bigger fish thing for him, right? Like for him, that's big fish is changing the course of baseball, being invested in whether or not we spent more. That's just not the type of stuff that I sense that he's all that invested in. I think the Arrighetti side of it is more interesting. All of this to say, if they're not going to do it, then I'm inclined to say if somebody wants to dramatically overpay for Trevor Rogers, I hate this because I don't think it's what they should be doing. I think Trevor Rogers, if this is who he is, should be part of the solution next year. But I, A, don't know that it's who he is, and B, don't know that there is a solution next year. And boy, here's
the other part, which is sort of separate but similar. Like when we get to the other side of this and we assume Cedric Mullins is gone and we assume Ryan O'Hearn is gone and we assume Morton's gone and maybe they trade Eflin for a bag of balls because some team will take a shot because he does have postseason experience. Like I want to see, assuming he's healthy, Chase McDermott here. I want to see Cade Povich here. I want to see Dylan Beavers here. I want to see Sam Basayo here. Like, these guys should be taking – I don't know if McDermott and Povich are starters in the major leagues, but they should take the turn every fifth day. And Basayo and Beavers should be playing almost every day. And we need to see what these guys are so they got their feet wet for next year.
So this one is interesting to me because my question is, what are you doing in center field after you trade Cedric Mullins?
It's probably Cowser if he's still here.
But I guess my question would be, do you think Cowser is the long-term answer in center field?
I do not.
So
but,
I like this is because I felt the same way, and my thought process is kind of be, and if he's not, and he can't hit right now, why add to the I would rather just say, dude, play left field, figure out the offensive side. We're not going to also add into you playing a more difficult position while you've got to correct this part of it. Like, I'm in this weird spot where I almost wonder if Laureano, you don't trade him and make him your stopgap center fielder until whenever Enrique Bradfield is ready.
Well, that also is Enrique Bradfield ever going to be ready?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Is he going to be anything more than a plus glove that is he? And this might date me a little bit. Is he Gary Pettis?
Wow,
is he a guy? Is he a guy with a really good glove that can steal a ton of bags, assuming he can get on first, but he can't steal first, so he's going to bat 230.
Right.
But is that who Enrique Bradfield Jr. is?
To be fair, isn't that what we thought Cedric Mullins was until he got to the bigs?
Well, but Cedric Mullins got a little pop in his bat. Now then he stopped switch hitting, and I hate being the guy who says, well, he's got a 30-30 because
that was never happening again, right?
Yeah, Chris Davis hit 100 home runs over the course of 2 years, and then became the worst player in the history of baseball. But Cedric Mullins has been a very good Oriole. But as his agent came out and said, the team has not even talked to him about an extension. So, he's and Laureano, I think he's more valuable as a trade piece than keeping Colton Cowser out of center field.
I look, man, I think Colton Cowser can play center field. I think he can.
I do too.
I also, and maybe the argument is, you want to move Colton Cowser to center field because you have to acquire a legitimate bat, and it's more likely that you're going to find that from a corner outfielder than you're going to find
corner outfielder. You can also hypothetically move Kobe Mayo to left field or right field,
But to your point, Tyler O'Neill's going to be on this team next year.
Oh, yes, he will be. Kobe Mayo is probably better as a corner outfielder than he's ever going to be at third base, and he's never played the corner.
He's not a third. I mean, my God, he's definitely not a third baseman. That's not part of the conversation. But I don't really see Mountcastle as having to me, Kobe Mayo is the first baseman until
You want a hot take, Glenn?
Yeah.
I would have DFA'd Mountcastle before he got hurt and just get what you could get for him. Like, you have a week to trade him. He's clogging up the pipes of this team. And he's never going to be the guy he was. He hit 30 home runs 3-4 years ago? Mm-hmm. I would have traded him for whatever you could have gotten before he got hurt because he's a luxury Ramon Urias at this point. He's got a little more pop.
You literally moved in your fences for him. You changed your stadium for him.
And nothing changed.
Nothing at all.
They have waited too long. By the way, what's Heston Kjerstad's role in this team?
Your guess is as good as mine there, man.
And that's the thing that bothers me. And people can fight me on this, but this is the other problem I have with their offseason. You can argue with me till the cows come home, but I believe they could have traded Kjerstad and Mayo and a couple low-level guys and gotten Garrett Crochet from the White Sox. And instead they kept both and didn't want to play either. So
but other than all that,
well, what are we doing?
You're right. All right. I know you spent some time out in Owings Mills. I don't know.
I was there the day I sweat through my shirt. What was that? Tuesday.
This is a weird. By the way, they've moved. If you had tickets to go to practice today, you can't go because of the storms this afternoon. They're moving it inside. What interests you? I mean, really, this is the difficult part. I did the hit with the guys from VSiN, and it's just kind of redundant, right? Are the Ravens going to win the Super Bowl? Don't know. What actually interests you when you're out there and as you're paying attention before the season begins.
So you're right. It's obviously you want to hope they don't get any injuries, and quite frankly, the likely injury, at least in the moment, sounds like one of those.
Could have been a lot worse. Right?
Yeah, like he should be back at full. Like if he's back at full speed by week 4, then like you're fine. Like they're saying he's got a chance to be back by week 1. It's a foot. I would slow play it, make sure he's 100%. You've got him back for when games matter. He's going to play most of the season. I'm good with that. It's a board that they have very few roster spots available, and they're really good. And all that matters is January. And I know Harbs doesn't like to hear Super Bowl or bust because he's hyper-focused on the word bust, but that's where they are. If Lamar Jackson is upright in December, they're going to the playoffs, and it's about winning in the playoffs. Now, what am I looking? I think Mike Green, and again, it's training camp, but he looks like a dude. Malachi Starks looks the part. Jair Alexander looks like a lot of fun if he can stay on a football field. Awuzie had a nice practice on Tuesday if he can stay on the football field. But they're going to be really good. It's just a matter of what happens in January. And that doesn't mean the regular season doesn't count, but this is where they are as a franchise. They're really good, but they haven't gotten over the hump.
That's the reality. And asking the question, and everybody asks me, what happens? I don't know either. I don't have that answer. I try. From a football perspective, the two things that are closest to me is, can you convince Lamar that he doesn't need to be quite as Superman-y in the playoffs? And then the other one that's been interesting to me that, to me, genuinely could be a postseason difference is, how good is Mike Green? Because if I can make a football argument for their postseason struggles, for as good as they are at generating a rush during the course of the regular season, they've still not had that player that's just the ass kicker that can make the game-altering play up front in the postseason. And
I think you're absolutely right. But I think you can make an argument that Lamar Jackson was, you talk about his playoff foibles, if that's even a word, I think it is. But he was fantastic in the second half of that Bills game.
He was brilliant. But
Mark Andrews fumbles as they're driving, probably for another score because the Bills couldn't stop them. And Mark Andrews drops the 2-point conversion. If they don't turn the ball over, they run the Bills off the field.
I agree with all that. It's still, to me, like the position you put yourself in, because there was no need to just toss the ball up the way that he did. And for as much as we know Lamar is a superhuman, and literally we've watched him turn botch snaps into touchdowns in the past, that maybe in the playoffs it's, hey, botch snap, live to fight another day, right? It's a different world in the postseason. Live to fight another day. And you don't want to neuter him. You don't want to say don't be Lamar Jackson, but it just feels like there's room between, be this guy, do everything in your power, make crazy, versus, hey, maybe in the playoffs, it's okay if you just throw the ball away. It's okay to just say, I'm Lamar Jackson. I can be Lamar Jackson on the next play, on the next snap. I don't have to be him right here when the circumstance isn't great.
I'll give you one that'll get you a little excited, but also throw cold water on the same time. Keaton Mitchell looks like he's got his burst back, so that's the positive. He looks like that speed is back. But as Todd Monken said on Tuesday when we were out there, Derrick Henry wasn't here 2 years ago, and that's when Keaton Mitchell exploded before he got hurt. And even then, they were reluctant to give him a lot of carries. I can remember in real time us talking on our show every week, when's Keaton Mitchell going to get 15 carries in a game? And it never happened, and then he got hurt. Well, now, not only is Derrick Henry here, who's a freak of nature, but Justice Hill is their best pass blocker. Justice Hill's a really good receiver out of the backfield. Justice Hill's the third down back. So Keaton Mitchell, as much as he looks right again, and hopefully he can make an impact on kickoffs, but he's going to have to get in where he fits in as far as the running back position is concerned.
By the way, I can live with him being depth at the moment. I can, because I would argue that's in the front, as good as the front seven is, I don't know how much depth there is there. At wide receiver, obviously, we don't know how much depth there is there.
There's another one. Devontae Walker looks like he's got something figured out, but he's probably a healthy scratch the first month of the season.
Almost no doubt.
On the flip side, say D-Hop misses a couple games. You watch Devontae Walker probably catches a touchdown in one of those games. But like he's not going to see the field if they're healthy.
What's coming up on Inside Access today, pal?
Oh, it's trade deadline, baby. We're on from 2 to 6, and the deadline's at 6. So we will be with you live when Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, and Charlie Morton, et cetera, get traded. We will analyze because we will know everything about the guys they get in return. So
100%, yes. Can definitely break down whatever the white name is that the Orioles experienced.
I was in the labor room when these kids were born, so
you got it.
By the way, you continued book club without me, huh?
So I have. Oh, you know what? Maybe I only told Tim. I think it might have been when who passed away. Your father? Did your father pass away?
My father did.
And I think what happened was I decided not to. There's an open invite. We trust me. It wasn't our choice to no longer be doing it on 105.7 The Fan.
I hear you.
There is an open invite for you to join us any week that we do the show for book club. Here's what I'll do. I'll start texting both of you each week when we're doing the show, and if you'd like to come join us, we'd love to have you. Cordell came and did one, in fact, which was
I think I've seen the ones you've done. So
I'm sure you. Yeah. Dude, what do you think about Amy Bradley is Missing? Because I thought it was incredibly compelling, and Rita hated it.
I thought it was really compelling. I also, it's very interesting to me that all these people, independent of each other, feel like they saw this woman after she left the boat. Like I found that to be very interesting.
I'm convinced. They convinced me, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am convinced this girl is alive.
Yes, well, at least she was at some point.
Correct. Yeah, in recent years, 100%. I'm convinced. But yes, I will make sure I start texting or emailing both of you about what our plans are, because we would love to have you continue to be a part. I just, things happen, man.
Yeah, trust me. Life happens.
I know.
I get it.
It's the way it goes, dude. All right, buddy. Love you. We'll talk soon. Thanks, pal.
All right, brother. Take care.
It's Ken Weinman, Inside Access over on 105.7 The Fan. We'll come back in. Jon Meoli of the Banner will join us next, talk a little bit more about what this looks like for the Orioles in the next couple of days. It's a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smolka profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 5 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Complicated timing. Zach Eflin placed on the injured list this morning with lower back discomfort. Brandon Young has been recalled to take his roster spot and stay in the rotation after a solid start on Tuesday night. We talked about this. Zach Eflin was in his own category as far as what might happen today, and that category was about whether or not he's the one guy that the qualifying offer could come into play for. And I would think that this pushes him fully into that category. I didn't think that it required this, but I would think that this fully moves him into qualifying offer territory, where maybe there's still a team who says we'd take a look-see at Zach Eflin after an IL stint, but between the actual results and the injuries, it just seems like there is nothing that you're really going to be able to get. And so at that point, the danger is the Orioles say, we'd rather not put the qualifying offer. We don't want any risk at this point of him, having to play for us for $20 million next year. But it seems like that's a risk worth taking given what the market for pitching is, and that either he's going to get that offer somewhere else and you get a draft pick compensation that, is valuable for him, or you got a $20 million lottery ticket on a pitcher, which is basically what, for $20 million anymore, you basically get lottery tickets on starting pitching. That's kind of the reality. So that's my gut as to what that means. Let's see what this man thinks. Of course, covers the Orioles for the Baltimore Banner. Always the person we bring in for big picture conversations. He is our friend Jon Meoli, and he is back with us now here on GCR. John, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, man?
Hey, it's been I don't know if you know, I've been in Vegas all week. So.
Oh, congrats. That's fun.
Well, except for the red eye that I took back last night, and maybe getting like a combined total of 2 hours of sleep before coming in here to do this. So if I...
So you're a little punchy. I'm going to derail you further.
Oh,
Do you remember when we did this on the day of the 2018 deadline and it felt like everything had to be done because
Yes, right. Everything.
Why would you
knew.
trade Jonathan Scope? Why would you trade Kevin Goffman? They've already done all the work.
Yeah, that's a good
point. And then 6 hours later they did.
That's a good point. So I
feel bad about that as a person still all these years later. I was like, wow.
You still
wrong.
think about I have definitely I do not still think about it, for the record. I'm good.
Thank you.
John, let me run. I'll just because we were talking about Zach Eflin coming in, do you feel like this now cements that the qualifying offer is the play for him? That there's just no way now that he's on the IL that anybody is offering you anything of value for Zach Eflin, right?
Yeah, I think the pitching market in general is such that I don't think the starting pitching market is really developed. So I think that's kind of where it would fall if it does. But I'm really interested to see how much they go. I don't think him getting hurt again is going to make him appealing to anyone. You kind of just hang on to him, but no, it's pretty challenging to see a world where anyone wants him, and I'm sure the Orioles wish that wasn't the case, because if we were having this conversation in May, he would probably be one of the more attractive pitchers on the market.
Let me cover a little bit of ground that we've talked about this morning, John. One would be, if presuming the Orioles are going to trade away Cedric Mullins today, and I can't fathom why they wouldn't, who is your center fielder moving? Is it as simple as saying, well, Colton Cowser is going to play in center field because he can play in center field? Or is that more complicated by, do you really think Colton Cowser is a long-term center fielder? He's struggling enough offensively. Why add in the complication of moving positions? Like, is it as simple as Colton Cowser starts playing center the moment that Cedric Mullins gets dealt?
To me, yes. Reasons that I think Ramon Urias would play into that equation if he comes back. God forbid, once Jorge Mateo's healthy, they're like, oh, we could do this again. Great. Spare me that. I will wherever I am, I will stand up and walk out of, even if it's my own house. But I think that if you are going to, you use this as a time to see if you can play Colton Cowser in center field. Do you need to add a center fielder? Do you need to add a cornerback? I think you kind of use it for that. I think he could be fine. Maybe even well. I mean, he's much bigger, like, physically than he was when he was signed. I was looking at a picture of him from Aberdeen and had one up there somewhere, and I was like, well, that's a skinny man. He's not really that anymore. He's filled out well. I think he still moved well enough to play center, obviously. It'll be an upgraded arm from what the Orioles have in center field right now. And I think this is the time you just do that and see. It might not be the long-term solution, but you can't know that without doing it. And God knows we're going to see a lot of things that are, not permanent in the next 2 months. So that feels like a pretty harmless one.
You're the person to ask. How far away are they from a world where Enrique Bradfield is their center fielder?
Farther than it was, at the beginning of the season before these hamstring injuries started creeping up. It kind of feels a little bit, I feel like when Cedric, ironically, it's kind of a parallel, when Cedric Mullins got to Bowie in 2017, it would have been, or maybe 2016, maybe 2017, he started dealing with hamstring injuries, and then all of a sudden the next year he played a little time in Bowie to get ready, and then was in Norfolk, and then was up within that season. But I think it would be a situation like that where he kind of has to accelerate through the high minors to get there. I think you could have seen a world where if he was healthy and his team was contending, then you put him on the bench in September and let him run wild. And down the stretch, we're obviously not in that world, on a competitive scale. And I don't think, physically and developmentally he's there. So we're probably talking about next year for that.
So I asked that question. I said, like, if it were to be early to mid next year, again, is there an argument? And this is predicated on the idea that you don't trade Laureano, and I don't know what the plan will be. But is there an argument for why move Colton to center field if he's not actually going to be your center fielder? Like, if he's really your left fielder for some, like, just why wouldn't you just let him keep playing left field and try to get better?
I think that can happen. I think that if I was going to map out like who I want to get major league outfield reps, I know Heston Kjerstad's got some physical stuff going on and hasn't produced offensively at all since he went down. But I would rather him get those reps if they're giving out corner outfield reps to see what's going on. And there's not a bigger, Dylan Beavers follower in the world than the one on the phone right now.
Sure.
And that could be a spot for him. You're going to need some corner. I don't think there's going to be some corner machinations that need to happen to get Samuel Basayo on there. He's not going to play the outfield, and I don't think anybody in that catcher first base DH mix will be, but that takes away reps for the corner outfielders on the DH spot. So I think that that's an easy solution to slide him over there. I haven't dug into how he's rated as a left fielder. I think he makes plays well. I think he is averse to running into the wall at this point after doing it recently and hurting him and not feeling good about it. But I wouldn't say that where he plays is going to be determinative of what kind of defender he is going forward. It's more just where you feel comfortable playing him.
You bring up that glut, right? Are we at the point where Ryan Mountcastle's name has been less discussed because he's just the forgotten man at the moment, but are we at the point where it's almost either you see if you can get something for Ryan Mountcastle, or at this point maybe we need to talk again about DFAing because there's just no justification for Ryan Mountcastle getting at bats for the Orioles at any point in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, I said on the Banner Baseball Show, a fantastic podcast.
I am a fan of the Banner Baseball Show.
Thank you. Yeah, if we, if I was running another team, I would try to trade for Ryan Mountcastle right now. I just think that, he has a demonstrated history of being really. The one time he spent a lot of time in Norfolk when he was coming off vertigo, he was like immersed in like how they prepare hitters in the minors, which is not to say that it's better or different from the big leagues. It's just a different experience. You can focus more on preparing than performing every day. He stopped chasing. He started hitting the ball hard all over the place. He walked a ton. It was like the 6 weeks of Ryan Mountcastle that you like always dreamed could happen. And then that was how that happened when he came back from injury. So I think there's a potential there. And I think he kind of figured out something about his approach right before he got hurt in that last week or so. And he stopped trying to pull the ball over the new dimensions and was just trying to hit the ball hard up the middle. And that, of course, allows you to pull the ball when you're a little early. And I would want to trade for Ryan Mountcastle. I also think if the Orioles don't get something sufficient for him, the Ryan Mountcastles of the world get traded. The same like 4 teams trade Ryan Mountcastle types to each other and for each other all the time when they're in their last year of arbitration, because it's decent value if they're performing decently. And I think you can reasonably say that he could play himself into that if you keep him around.
But boy, you say you keep him around, but then he's got to play, right?
Yes, he has to play.
How do you do that?
I think that, in a weird way, like Ramon Urias not being around anymore clears a path for that in a way that it wouldn't have, because now you're whoever your extra infielder is doesn't really play, and like that's fine. You don't have to worry about that. So you can have those, like we're facing a lefty. I know everyone kind of gets their the hair raises on their neck when we talk about platoons, but if there's a lefty in there, you can get Kobe Mayo and Ryan Mountcastle in the lineup together. You can do that.
But I'd like to hope that the moment Ryan O'Hearn is dealt, that there is a commitment to Kobe Mayo plays essentially every day, right?
I think you could easily do that. I mean, is there a meaningful difference of him playing 4.5 out of 7 games a week versus 6?
Yeah.
Not terribly. Will
I'll
feel like that.
I'll tell you what, John. Can I make the argument for why? Like, the argument I'll make for why I think there could be is because of what the topside value of Kobe Mayo is. Like, I look at this like big picture. What's the blueprint for the Orioles getting back into a place so they can contend for a World Series next year? And obviously we're now at the point, we can talk about it in a second. They're going to need like 3 to 4 bullpen arms. They need one top-ish of the rotation starter and probably another starter after that. And it still feels like they need that one more bat, with the caveat being like, could Kobe Mayo be that bat? And I know that's an awful lot to project or to think, but that's sort of what we've expected Kobe Mayo to be, and the reason why they haven't been willing to trade Kobe Mayo for that top-notch starting pitcher. So in a weird way, like, I do feel like it'd be valuable for him to play 6 out of every 7, so you can get to the end of the year and have a better feeling as to whether or not Kobe Mayo is legitimately the middle of the order bat that you need.
Yeah, I think that's a fair argument. I don't know if we're talking about if he has 200, and I don't know how many plate appearances you can get in too much. If he gets 240, you're going to know more than if he gets 210 or 190. Yeah. If they're good, they're going to be good, and you're going to feel like they're good. It's not going to matter that he, sat a day to get Ryan Mountcastle a day, or he, he spent a day doing more first base work than he would if he was playing every single day, that type of stuff. If you're going to know, you're going to know. And I feel like what we've seen recently when he has been playing consistently is that there is that is there. And I'm not sure if, playing 3 out of 4 games diminishes that the way that playing 1 out of 4 or 0 out of 4 has.
The bullpen thing that I just brought up, you know better than others. We know that there isn't starting pitching in the system. Are there more legitimate bullpen arms, even of the group that's here right now that we kind of roll our eyes at, or the guys that maybe we thought could be starting pitchers, but we're kidding ourselves? We kind of know the answer at this point. Is the bullpen thing as like it really does look to me like you need to be spending $25 million or so dollars next year on bullpen arms, given what you've done. Are there more reinforcements here or close in the bullpen conversation than we realize?
Kind of, and I say kind of because you think back to the last time it felt like there was a lot of pitching like in the high minors, like the 2018-19 era when it was, they traded for Dean Kramer. There's all those lefties, Zach Lowther and Alex Wells and Bowie, and all these guys are kind of samey in the sense that they're not overpowering, but like they're effective. They move the ball around the zone. They get results in the high minors. Like there was no reliever floor for those guys. Like if they couldn't be perfect and command the ball and be fine enough to be major league starters, there's no use for a lefty who throws 90 miles an hour in a major league bullpen unless you're like 75 years old and just know how to get guys out. Like, and the difference now is that there is a very legitimate reliever floor to any of these guys that we're talking about. I saw that Nestor German's either going to be or is going to be on. Like that guy is massive. He throws really hard. He has 4 pitches. And if the Orioles said, you know what, you're a really good starter, but we need you to start being a reliever right now so that you can pitch in the big league bullpen next year, he has the stuff to do that. There are any number of guys that can do that. And nobody would bat an eye. That's like, and that's why I say kind of. The thing is that he was an 11th round pick. He's not really the best example of like, you don't draft a guy to be a reliever, but like you don't develop starting pitchers with 5-6 pitches in the minors and have them perform really well just to make them relievers because you need relievers. And they aren't going to flip that switch. So that's why I say kind of. There is stuff to do that. There are pitchers who I think they will flip that switch with, but majority of them no. So it's challenging to see like, oh, this is who the bullpen is going to be next year and feel really good about it. There are all kinds of guys who have interesting stuff and have gotten better since they were here. Waiver claims, guys who have been around forever, like Cade Stroud. Like there is major league stuff in there, but it's not going to be evident that there's going to be long-term pieces that emerge from this bullpen based on what we see the next 2 months. And I'm fascinated to see where they come from.
Father to father, Jon Meoli. Just a couple of dads talking right now. How do we talk to our kids about Grayson Rodriguez at this point?
Oh my gosh. It is stunning that, it just feels so much like all the rest of them, and it felt so different from all the rest of them. He is like the spiritual and now actual like successor to the Dylan Bundy and Hunter Harvey,
Wow. Yeah.
experience. And even as, and this is like me treading into an area that I'm not a doctor. I have no idea what's going on in Grayson Rodriguez's arm, shoulder, anything. But Hunter Harvey told me that after he got his Tommy John, he had a lot of like elbow soreness. They would take an MRI. It would look intact. They're like, well, you don't need Tommy John. And then after X amount of years, there was like, what are we doing here? Let's just do this. And they went in and the doctor was like, oh, our bad. Like it showed up intact on an MRI, but your UCL was literally mush. Like it was intact, but like, it was like the most like mushy piece of spaghetti you've ever seen in your life. And like that was why it was hurt. And like right down to like what is going on with this guy, why does the same stuff keep happening, like or why aren't the scans showing, I don't like, it feels like there's some kind of disconnect in the physical aspect of like what's causing this and what's going to fix it, and rest hasn't really worked. So right down to that, just you don't want anyone to associate any of the bad things that happen to first-round Orioles pitchers. You want to kind of spare young people from that, but you just kind of say, use it as an example. Here's what you do. Use it as an example of like, yeah, these pitching prospects are awesome, but it's in stat, buddy. There's no such thing as a pitching prospect. There's just a button. You want as many guys who throw hard and have really good stuff in the minors as you possibly can get, because they're all just going to get hurt. And that's what the Orioles are trading for this week.
Man, it sounds so depressing when you say it like that, but yes, that's exactly the way that it works. Just do you have arm? Okay, let's see. Like that's the reality of what we're dealing with. can I assume that you and Paul will be working maybe later today?
That is the plan. I think. I don't want to speak for. He's the brains of the operation.
Okay.
I believe we're going to go live at like 5:45. So you're gonna, if you ever want to watch me watch my computer screen, have I got the platform for you? Yeah, we're gonna try to make sense of it all. I'm probably gonna write. We have a tremendous amount of content planned for the next couple of days for the Banner. This is what we're gonna send. We're gonna send this version of the Orioles out with a bang. That's for sure.
Looking forward to all of it. It's Jon Meoli on Twitter, but also get him on Blue Sky, right? Where you can follow him, johnmeoli.bsky.social. And, of course, the Baltimore Banner, as always. John, always appreciate you, brother. I think this one will hold up better in 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I have been like, we did 2 podcasts in the last week where Paul was like, what about this guy? Do you think they're going to trade him? And it's just been like a blanket yes. I think they're going to trade everyone. And that is even more what I feel now, like waking up to 2 more trades. It's like, okay, well.
Yep. That's I'm
I
largely.
can only imagine what that flight looked like yesterday. How many people how many people are flying to Chicago now? I can't even imagine.
I think our buddy Eric Ardita described it as like being back home from college, and it's the night before everybody's got to start going back to school. Like you're just, dude. Let's all stay up all night. We'll play poker. We'll play video games. Like we're just not going to bed, man, because then life goes back. There's that Eve 6 song is playing in the background. What the hell was the name of it? Here's to the night we felt. That's the way it is. All right, buddy. Love you. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot. Rest up after this.
Thanks, pal. Jon Meoli, the Baltimore Banner. Yeah. I'm going to try to take a nap in the afternoon, but I'm going to miss all the trades. I really had that thought. I'm like, well, I could just go lay down on that couch here. I could go home, frankly, and work. No, because then all I know is that like I'll miss anything that's happening.
Nah, you can do it tomorrow.
That's true. We'll do a show tomorrow, and I can hop on with Stan and Luke tonight and share my thoughts about it then, I guess. Although,
or just they just reveal everything. You're like, what?
Right.
The whole time.
That would be cool if I got a nap, right?
Yeah.
They'd be like, wow, who knew?
It's like you're waking up from a coma.
They traded Cedric Mullins? The guy, you saw the catch, right? They traded him? Why would they trade him? He's good. Why would that doesn't make any sense?
Guess the Orioles are not acquiring Mason Miller.
Oh, no?
Yeah. He's going to the Padres.
Going to the Padres.
Yeah, and they get the Padres number 3 prospect and 3 pitchers.
Padres are such a strange, right?
Well, so this is interesting to make it all about me because that's what I want to do. My 2 fantasy closers are Edwin Diaz and Robert Suarez. So I've been doing great this season in the closing department, but now I don't know what to think since the Padres just traded for a second closer in Mason Miller, and yesterday the Mets added Ryan Helsley. So now both teams have 2 closers, and I don't know if that's going to hurt my fantasy team.
God, remember when that was the problem that we were faced with 2 years ago when I was like campaigning for the Orioles to get or was that last year I was campaigning for them to get? I'm like, you have 2 close. No, that was 2 years ago. They didn't have a closer last year. 2 years ago, that was what I was banging. I'm like, get another closer. Have another guy. Because sometimes you have to win games in the 10th inning.
Yeah.
God, how good was our lives?
And that year was crazy because Bautista was pitching the 9th and 10th.
100%.
Extra innings.
But I was still wanted another.
And then it was
it wasn't Mason Miller. It was Tanner Scott was who I wanted 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was banging the table for Tanner.
I wanted Tanner Scott last year. Yeah,
I definitely wanted him last year. I mean, like
I was late to the party.
You needed one guy, but I still wanted him 2 years ago.
A guy.
Wasn't gonna make a difference if they couldn't score any runs. I guess Buster Olney is saying that he thinks that they're going to trade Suarez.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess he would assume he would be the closer for whatever team that is. Well, he said Tigers, Mariners, Cubs, Yankees, Astros. I mean, interesting. Yeah, the Padres are very interesting. So I guess that means because Miller's got more control, so I guess that's why.
I presume that's what the Padres are doing. This like wealthier version of the Rays.
Yeah,
is really what this is. They're doing we're going to have to make trades, but we are going to try to maximize value while being willing to spend money. They're doing like the rich man's, Tampa Bay Rays, because the Rays are the poor man's Tampa Bay Rays. They can't be a poor man's Tampa Bay Rays. They are the poor man's Tampa Bay Rays. They're doing the wealthy man's Tampa Bay Rays. We will still have to make fiscal decisions, but we're going to do it while generally spending money, is what the Padres appear to be. So, yeah, like there's a part of me that's like, why would you be acquiring Mason Miller while also trying to deal Dylan Cease? Like that, how does that make any sense? But that's what they're saying. What they're saying is we're going to keep stretching the window. We're not going to have one all-in year. And it's an argument that people make to me all the time when I bring up the idea of the Orioles going all-in. Is like they want to have a 5-year window. Well, ironically, this year has not been part of that window, so that doesn't qualify. I understand the argument, like I do, but it kind of falls flat. Like it just kind of falls. The Orioles need to figure out a time where they're actually trying to win a World Series. The Padres can make the argument that they've been trying to win the World Series every year. Mm-hmm. Legitimately, this has been a year we think we could win the World Series. It just obviously hasn't gotten to them to one yet. We'll see if Mason Miller is the piece that gets them there. I did see yesterday our friend Tyler Locklear got dealt. He was in the Suarez trade? I think he was in the Suarez trade. Right, he went to Arizona. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
As I say that, I hear the thunder clap in the best. Yeah, Baltimore's own Tyler Locklear does indeed go to the Diamondbacks as part of the Eugenio trade. So there's that. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to cover here. We're still waiting on everything. And all of the other potential deals, we continue to play the waiting game. Maybe next year we don't do a show on this day. Maybe in hindsight, like the day that I was
sit here and talk about Mason Miller.
The day that I was flying. Oh my God, man! I was sitting after I did the Veasan hit. My flight was not supposed to be until 8:00 last night, Pacific time. Okay. So I had said, "Well, here's what we'll do: we'll hang out at the."
What happened?
I don't know if you're listening to the podcast version or the edited video that Griffin will have posted later. It's going to sound really weird because we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and the next thing you're going to hear is me having said hi there. You'll be like, what the hell happened? Well, the answer is we had a power strike. The storms, the pending storms. Oh, my God. I just saw a bolt of lightning.
Oh, really?
That, did not seem like it was very far away. That sent we had a power surge. That's what happened, and unfortunately, even though it came right back, it's just a bit of a process for us to get everything back up and running. So, our apologies. This one's out of our control. Lots of things that we screw up. Plenty of things that we screw up.
Like what?
Many things that we screw up. Many. Almost every moment, we screw something up. But this one, not our fault. Not this time. Today's show is also brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel, the best place to watch all of the fights, all of the big events. You're starting to make plans for football Sundays, for kickoff night, things like that. Sports and Social inside Live Casino and Hotel is the best place to be for all of those football evenings. Great food, 100-foot media wall, everything you love about Live Casino and Hotel. Let's take a trip to Bowie to chat with a member of the Chesapeake Baysox. This young man became a really intriguing prospect a year ago, really kind of flew on the radar scene in the lower levels of the minor leagues, has backed that up this year, and there is real reason to believe that this is one of the top arms in the Orioles system. Out of Seattle, he is Nestor German, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. Nestor, it's Glenn here in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
How's it going, Glenn? Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man.
Happy to be here.
Dude, it's great to chat with you. First of all, I want to make sure I have it right. It is Nestor German, correct?
Correct.
I just realized
that's what you say. You're saying it perfectly.
Dude, sometimes I just take for granted. I'm like, I know that's correct. I know that because I've heard it a million times because everybody's been talking about you. And then I end up feeling like an idiot when somebody's like, oh, by the way, it's actually Nestor. I'm like, oh, damn it. Damn it. I apologize. Nestor, I mentioned a year ago and how you really kind of came onto the radar in this system. I have no doubt that you knew what you were capable of. For the rest of us, obviously, you were a lower pick and didn't have quite that same cachet as some guys did. Was you made the transition to pro ball? How good did you feel about what you were doing? And how confident were you that this is what you were going to be able to do when you got to the professional level?
Well, man, last year was a really fun year. Probably my best year of baseball. But I think it has to do with just putting in work from a long time ago, Just I think maybe going 5 years, I've been working consistently towards my baseball career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everything just came together last year, and I was able to put out that kind of season. But I think it wasn't anything special. It just kind of clicked after all the hard work I've done, and it showed out, thankfully. So it was a lot of fun, man.
What were the priorities then coming into this year, right? Like, you have a year that is as good as last year is, right? Like, is it okay? Keep doing the same thing. I don't want to tinker with this. Like, it's working. Don't mess with it. Or knowing that you were going to be moving up to a higher level. I know you got up to high A last year. Knowing that you're going to be making more jumps, did it require you to say, hey, as good as things are, I know I still need to add to my repertoire or focus on this thing going into this year?
I think we just kind of take it one day at a time, and just try to give our 100% every single day and try to get better and just keep continuing to do that and not just kind of stay focused on your own, kind of tunnel vision. But we didn't really want to tinker anything, just kind of stay in my process and just keep doing that every single day. And just every day I go out there to go out and compete and have fun.
I know that everybody always talks about the jump to Double-A, about being the biggest jump that you make in the minor league system in terms of competition that you face. I know that the overall numbers would say that it's been tough for you, but as I dove in, it seems like it was really like one rough start in there, which happens to everybody, and otherwise I would think those numbers would still be really good. How comfortable have you been with the overall performance that you've been able to deliver since making that jump to Double-A?
It's been fun, man. I had some struggles there. The hitters are obviously a little more experienced here in Double-A, but no, I feel great, man. I feel great with all my pitches, and gonna want to finish strong here towards the end of the season.
What is it that give me right now, Nestor, what's your strikeout pitch?
I can go to any pitch. I can go fastball up, I can go slider down, I can go curveball down, or I can go splitter down.
Is there
it all depends. It all depends in the moment.
What's the pitch that when you execute, you're most likely to show a little emotion afterwards? That's the more important question.
Maybe when I throw the heater hard, when it's 97, maybe 96. When it's 97, or maybe when you got runners in scoring position and you got 2 outs, and you need to get out of the inning. You don't want to give up runs, so that's when I show a little bit of emotion.
What is okay? So tell me what that feeling is like. When was the first time that you threw a baseball like not mid-90s? Like the first time in your life that you hit like 94?
Junior year of college.
Okay, and what was that feeling like when you did that? Because I always talk about this. These are the types of things that normal humans will never understand. Like we'll never know when you hit it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you just feel your body. You're just kind of in the zone, and you just feel using your whole body to throw the baseball. It's and it just goes to where you are, and the hitter's late on it. He's swinging and misses. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. You're like, dude, I just did that. I did that. Do you feel like there's still more? Do you feel like, 96, 97? By the way, if you can consistently hit 96, 97, you're going to be in great shape. And we're going to be really thrilled here in Baltimore. But do you feel like internally there might be even more velo that you could add in the next year or two?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah. I think I still got more in the tank, and we keep working towards that every single day, man. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep working hard and see where he takes us. So.
That thought is scary, man. Like, that thought is really, really impressive. Nestor German is with us here on GCR. Nestor, I know, obviously you've had a great success as a starter. Are you the type that, like, if the Orioles said at some point, hey, man, but you can throw the heck out of the ball, we could get you here a little bit quicker, would you be willing to consider it? Where are you on the line of, like, I'm a starting pitcher, that's what I do, versus, yeah, but I'll do anything to get to the big leagues?
Yeah, my job is to throw the baseball, and if they say they need me to throw the baseball, I'm going to go do it. It doesn't matter what situation it is, I'm ready to be up there whenever they call my name.
I mean, I think right now there's no reason to mess with it because it's working, but, like, you never know how that might play out.
Yeah, I came out of the bullpen a couple of times.
I know.
At Seattle U in a couple of midweeks, and it was a lot of fun, man.
What about
especially in college, since we're trying to win games, so.
You just want to do anything you can to help, and that makes all the sense in the world. Did you do a little bit last year at High A too?
Yeah, the rest of the year of last year, I came out of the bullpen.
Was that an innings thing where they were trying to protect how many innings you threw?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was only able to throw 4 innings.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
There was also a pitcher in front of me that.
So it was like a bulk. I got it. That makes.
So I was supposed to. We're supposed to switch, but yeah.
I got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You bring up Seattle U, right? Like, tell me a little bit more about your story, right? And obviously you were a local kid, and you made that decision. I don't know that we think of Seattle U as, like, a baseball factory. Did you know, when you made the decision to go there, that, like, being a big leaguer was in play for you? Was it just, I want to keep playing baseball, I want to keep pitching, let's see what it was? Walk me through that decision and how your time there maybe helped you make the steps that you needed in order to get into this position.
Well, I made a plan when I was a freshman in high school, and that I wanted to be a baseball player, and I just kind of made a whole plan what kind of steps I needed to take to be able to be a professional baseball player, and then I needed to go play Division I baseball, correct? So, I wanted to play wherever I could, and Seattle U gave me that opportunity, and I went there and tried to do anything I could to become better as a baseball player every single day there too, and we have Carter Capps come as the pitching coach there, and he was a lot of help to me in the pitching side, taught me a lot of things, and then with the work I've been putting in, I think everything came together, and I was able to come to this opportunity to come play pro baseball. But it's been a dream for me since I was 3 years old. I've been playing baseball since I was 3 years old. So, baseball has been my life since my whole life, pretty much. So, yeah.
The one guy that I know Seattle U is very proud of is Cedric Mullins, and I don't know how much, I know that you follow his game quite a lot. How much do you use what he does, and have you had any interactions with Mullins?
Yeah, I met him when I was a sophomore in college, and obviously having a guy that came to your college and then be a big leaguer, someone you have a lot of respect for and you look up to, and it's nice to have someone like that because you can dream. Even when you're in college, you can be like, okay, this guy was here, and now he's there. It's possible. So it's awesome to have Cedric as a Seattle U alumni. But I just kind of introduced myself and just had very small conversations, nothing much.
One day they're going to be talking about Nestor German like that. That's the point. The point is one day it's going to be the home of Cedric Mullins or Nestor German and Cedric Mullins. That's the way that it's going to go. We're going to put it in that order. Nestor German from the Baysox is with us here on GCR. Nestor, I wonder too, right? Like, you had the opportunity to play at home, right, at Seattle. I'm sure that thrilled your family. how has it been like for you now being this far after spending so much time in the Pacific Northwest, being literally on the opposite side of the country? How's that adjustment been for you? Has it maybe been beneficial for you to kind of get away from everybody a little bit and just focus on baseball?
Well, it's been a little tough, man. Obviously, I'm far away from my friends and my family, and it's a lot different. It's a lot different here than the Northwest. But I miss them, so yeah. I hope they can come and visit me soon.
It's not an easy trip to make. I understand.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not exactly the like a puddle jumper that you can hop on that's going to get you from Seattle here. But hopefully that will be the case, and hopefully there'll be a lot more of that. Nestor, what are the things to you, the difference between being someone who can succeed at Double-A and being someone who's ready to be in the bigs? What would you say? I still want to focus specifically on this before I get that call and I make that jump to being at the big league level?
I think just being able to be consistent in the zone with all my pitches, once I can do that and do that consistently for a little bit, then I think I'll be ready.
We like the sounds of it, man. We've seen a lot of success, and we're really excited for what could be coming soon. In the meantime, it's a great weekend to get out and check out the Baysox. They're home all weekend. Of course, weather provided tonight. But tomorrow night, Navy night, which if you've never been to the Baysox for Navy night, it's the coolest night all year. Everybody in their dress, it creates an amazing atmosphere. Also, fireworks tomorrow night, and fireworks as well on Saturday night, and it's Girl Scout night. A Sunday fun day on Sunday, as well as Faith Day and a Faith Day picnic as well. Lots going on with the Baysox, and you can check it all out, baysox.com, and get your tickets to see them this weekend. Nestor, where can Orioles fans be following you on social media? Twitter, Instagram, anywhere like that?
Yeah, I have my Instagram, Nestor German 24, and I'm on Twitter, but I'm not very active there at Nestor German _
Give him a follow there. Nestor, it's been awesome to see your success, man. It's been awesome to see the way that you have flown onto the radar, and really we can't wait to see what's next for you. Appreciate you spending time with us this morning, man. Best of luck moving forward, and let's look forward to chatting again real soon, all right?
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for having me. It was a fun time, man. Appreciate
Thanks, Nestor.
You.
Nestor German with us this morning, and obviously as we brought up, the numbers a year ago were wildly eye-opening, and then this year, he has, and he brought it up earlier, right? You're adjusting to obviously a higher level at Double-A, but it's a couple of rough starts that stand out and sort of have made the numbers balloon. It remains one of the most intriguing arms in the system. And we can say, well, that's in part because there are no intriguing arms in the system. I understand that's our natural inclination. But somebody's got to pitch. Jon Meoli just brought it up a minute ago. They might need bullpen arms next year. And he has the stuff that he could certainly be helpful in that capacity. But presumably they want to keep him as a starter for a while because he does look like he might actually project as a starting pitcher at the major league level. All right. We got one more break to take. We'll still get a tidbit. We'll still get tubular before we wrap up. I was telling Griffin my story.
Oh, yeah.
I never really I started to tell everybody, and then
maybe it was a sign.
Maybe I shouldn't tell it, right?
God said no.
I was supposed to fly out of Vegas last night at 8:10, and so after the show and after I did VEASAN yesterday, it was great. Got to meet Mitch and Paulie from VEASAN, and I'm telling you, man, they've got what they do. The more I talk to people in that world, they are the best. But it was great to spend some time with them. I actually saw them again after their show and spent a little time with them. And then the plan was just hang out, check out maybe one of the restaurants at the Circa that I hadn't been able to check out during the week, and then wander over to the airport a little after 6. And then all of a sudden I got a text from Southwest that said, hey, heads up, flight delayed, but no worries. Everything's still good. You're still going to make your connection in time because I had a connection in Albuquerque.
How far is Vegas to Albuquerque?
I don't know.
Like 45 minutes?
No, I guess it would have been. Well, Albuquerque might be Mountain Time, not Pacific Time.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it's 45 minutes
you're right,
plus.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so maybe it's a little more. Yeah.
Well, no, I think it might have been.
New Mexico's directly under.
Because I think my flight
Colorado.
was scheduled to leave at 8:10, and then my Albuquerque flight was scheduled to leave at 10. But that might be 10 Mountain Time, not 10 Pacific Time.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Whatever.
Oh.
Now that I think about it, maybe I screwed the pooch here. Maybe the
No,
they would have told me what time.
they would have.
Yeah, they would have told me what local
had
time
the
I was
same,
landing.
yeah.
So what happened was I go to my app to look at what time I'm landing, and it says I'm landing at 9:59. And remember, I'm gonna make my connection because my connection's at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So all good, man.
Yeah.
All good, no problem. And I immediately say, well, that ain't gonna work. There's just no way. That ain't happening. So back to the drawing board, right? And I find out that basically my only other option for getting here in time to do the show today would have been for me to fly into San Jose at a 6:30 flight. So I had to book it. Like we had to.
Oh God.
We,
So you had to-
we had to pack up and get out, and there's traffic and the whole. Now, like the airport in Vegas is right there in Vegas, so it's not very far away, but there's traffic. You know, like it's the time of day where everybody's on the road. So, I mean, I was playing with fire getting there. But I got my flight started boarding at 6 o'clock. I got to the gate at 5:55. So I was like, hell yeah, I did it. I boarded off. All good. Yes. But that meant that my connection flight from my San Jose to Baltimore, I was now C-15 on the flight.
Could be worse. Could have been C-16.
It only seemed to go to C-20. It seemed like nobody was past C-20. So, okay, right? Like, yeah, this is going to suck, but whatever. A miracle of miracles.
How's the San Jose airport?
Sucks.
Really?
I got lots of thoughts. Ken Niamatalola and I got to deal with this. Everything closes at like 7:45.
Oh.
I just wanted to get some food because I didn't have time to get food before the first flight.
Oh, man. Have you eaten anything then?
No, the one thing, in fairness, the one thing that was still open, I just had to go a little bit further to find it, was Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
So that worked out okay. I got a market salad. Yeah, thank you. Shout out. Because everything else that I stopped by was closed. Closed. Even like Hudson News was closed. And in fact,
Hudson News closes?
I didn't know that. Well, apparently the San Jose airport
be up all night, but yeah.
rolls up the whole airport at like 8 o'clock.
I guess they don't have many late flights.
That was what the guy was telling me. The Southwest guy was like, this is literally the last flight out of the airport tonight.
Wow.
And then
an 8
we
o'clock
all
at
go
7:45
home.
flight?
Whatever time it was. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember. Whatever it was, that was the last flight of the night. So, yeah. San Jose Airport stinks. Nothing good there.
So it went San Jose straight to Baltimore.
Yeah, to Baltimore, which is a weird.
I know.
I guess that means they don't do San Francisco flights. That's their one Northern California.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
I
now
guess.
I'm thinking about it.
I don't know, man. Whatever. I thought I had an aisle seat with an empty middle seat because the flight attendant had been like waiting in this aisle seat while everybody was coming on the plane. People were grabbing middle seats. I'm like, are you actually a flight attendant, or are you like wearing Southwest?
That's a smart play.
Right?
So no one sits with you.
And I said, hey, man, is this seat available? He's like, oh, yeah, you can have it. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm C-15. And there was a spot for my bag up top. I'm like, miracle of miracles.
Things are looking up for Glenn.
Whoever old C-20 was a larger gentleman. Very nice guy. Could not have been a nicer guy. There were lots of seats available. He chose the one next to me.
Well, I mean, so you were C anyway.
Getting some sleep was a little bit tougher. I probably got 30 minutes of sleep on the cross-country flight. Yeah. I got back here.
What's your play then? Were you reading, or are you like you're
I started by watching the Trainwreck Storm Area 51.
Oh, okay.
It was a two-parter, and I downloaded both. By the way, we got to talk about the other apps and what you're allowed to download and what you're not. Netflix, you can download anything. You can download.
Well, so if you buy, I don't know, premium or whatever, like the no commercial version of all the other apps, I assume
that allows downloads.
I would.
It's because
think.
I go the cheap route.
I think because I know HBO Max used to let you download stuff.
I couldn't download. I tried to download episode 2 of Billy Joel. Couldn't download that. I tried to download Last Week Tonight because I never watched that this week. Couldn't download that. Then I tried to hop over to Paramount Plus and download the South Park episode everybody was talking about from last week that I still haven't a chance to watch. Couldn't download that. Nothing. So I was like, well, it's either watch whatever crap movies that are available on Southwest.
Which not always crap, I've got, did you download Happy Gilmore 2?
Oh, you know what? I definitely did not download Happy Gilmore 2. Did I tell you that Aaron was trying to quietly?
I think I do remember. Yeah.
Quietly while I was out there, I could sense
he should have pushed harder.
We were at.
If he got 2 drinks in you, then
he got multiple drinks in me.
There's no reason he should have been able to take advantage.
By the way, we did. Did I tell you we did Jobbing Out, and I passed out in the middle of the show. We went to this Naked City Pizza place that was very good. It was on. I always like to look at places that Guy Fiery has been whenever I go to it somewhere. And it's been 15 years since I've gone to Vegas, legitimately that long.
Jeez.
So I saw this barbecue place that he went to, and Aaron was like, "Yeah, it's pretty far away," but he had gone to Naked City Pizza. Aaron's like, "Yeah, we'll go to Naked City Pizza," and they were doing a Happy Gilmore 2 watch party. On Monday night.
That's the dream.
They were doing a watch party with Happy Gilmore themed food and drinks, and Aaron was sitting there well, even if it sucks, that seems like it would be a fun time. I'm like, you just want to watch Happy Gilmore. Just say, I want to watch Happy Gilmore 2. I'm not going to do it with you, but you can just say it. It's okay. And then he would keep bringing up the review. Dude, I would have bet that it would have been under 40% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's 60%.
That's a hit. That is not.
He was very quietly trying to convince me to watch. Instead, I went and I didn't do anything. I didn't go see any movies while I was in Las Vegas. In case my kids are listening, I did not see any motion pictures. Just the Backstreet Boys and Kelly Clarkson. That's all I did. Didn't see anything else while I was.
Well, I'm
in
trying
Las
to think
Vegas.
what movies would have even. Oh, I guess Fantastic Four came out.
Right, but I didn't see any
you
movies.
Didn't see that.
I didn't see.
Okay.
Well, I didn't go to the movies. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I definitely did. You know what? I streamed Queen of the Ring on the way out.
I don't know if I know what that is.
Queen of the Ring is Walton Goggins.
Oh, of course. Okay. So you're trying to finish the Walton Goggins cinematic universe.
Who else do I love? It's somebody else that I loved in this movie. It's about former female professional wrestling star Mildred Burke.
I think
it came out earlier this year.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought it would be. And it wasn't even Walton Goggins at his Walton Goggins-iest. Anybody could have played this character. It just happened to be Walton Goggins.
He's not even listed on the top cast.
Well, that doesn't make sense. He's a pretty significant character in the film. That's kind of silly. I mean, maybe they just listed all the wrestlers. I don't know. And Josh Lucas was, I think, the male lead.
Oh, it was? Okay, so this is just not in order then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Josh Lucas is 8th, and then Goggins is 9th.
And so maybe they just listed all the wrestlers, because it's all about female wrestlers. They might have just listed all of them. But surprisingly good film. I enjoyed that one. And then I looked at the options for viewing on Southwest's website, and the best option was that.
Sometimes they have something good.
I could have watched the Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney movie.
Yeah, that one's been on there for almost 2 years now, I think.
Has it? Yeah, I chose not to.
I remember flying right after that movie came out. It was already on the Southwest.
When I finished Trainwreck, and I still couldn't sleep.
Wasn't the Bob Dylan movie? I think was.
It is, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen it. When I finished Trainwreck and couldn't sleep, I thought I would put on White Chicks. Because then, if I fell asleep, whatever, I've seen White Chicks a few times. It's all good. And if I stay awake, I like White Chicks. So, I'll just watch it. But instead, what did I do instead? I did start a movie.
Sat in silence.
No, I started a movie, and that was when I fell asleep. I might have even started the stupid Sydney Sweeney movie, and then just
stupid. Well,
fell
be
asleep.
Careful.
Fell asleep for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, fell asleep. And then I just did the music thing the rest of the way.
Okay.
I just said, I'm just going to listen to some music in hopes of falling asleep, and wasn't happening. Was not. I heard the entire conversation. Again, because the guy, the larger man sitting next to me, very nice guy, pivoted from talking to me to talking to the guy on the other side. I heard their entire I know their entire life story. I'm not going to share all the details, but I heard the entire conversation.
One time I was on a flight and I had to help this guy, this Latino guy. He did not speak much English.
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't get his headphones to connect.
Okay.
And he was trying to watch a soccer match. And I was like, I guess there's worse things. But then he started playing it out through his phone, and I was like, this is not going to work.
Yeah, it's rough.
This is not going to work. You're not going to be able to do this.
You know what, actually,
so I had to help him connect his Bluetooth on his headphones.
At one point,
which was very difficult. I don't know why it was so challenging.
At one point, when I did fall asleep with whatever movie was playing, my earbuds died. And so apparently it started playing, and that was what woke me up. Because if that hadn't happened, maybe I would have been able to sleep for longer than 30 minutes, but not the case. So, yeah, I got back here at 6:45 and went to lay down on that couch and didn't have a blanket. I didn't think bring a blanket, a pillow, anything that would help you sleep for a couple of hours.
Well, we have those no T-shirts. Maybe I guess you.
I did think about that, but then I don't want to.
Well, you get one for yourself, so
yeah, I guess. So I just laid there, didn't sleep, played Wordle, played Sports Connections, played Daily Walk Off, looked at my Facebook memories. Oh, look, it's 7:30.
Just go through the photos that you took the last week. Oh, yeah, that was fun.
What did I not post? I need to post pictures of. I saw my family while I was out there. I haven't posted those pictures yet. Need to do that today. Deleted stuff. I like to delete stuff from my phone, right? Because I posted it somewhere. It's saved. 8 o'clock now. I think I finally passed out around 8 o'clock and then woke up right before you got here, around 9:30. So
that's not bad. Good 90-minute.
Yeah, nice 90-minute power
nap. Yeah.
90-minute power nap. All right. Today's show has been brought to you by. It's been brought to you by County Sports Zone. CountySports.zone is where you find everything. We are just a couple of weeks away from the start of high school football season and high school sports season. Everything you'll need to know, you'll find at CountySports.zone. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. We'll come back in. We'll get a tidbit. We'll get Tubular to wrap it up.
Do we want to do some fighting words?
Oh, yeah. Fine.
It's not a lot, so
we'll do it. No, you're right. We'll do it. All that next. Glenn Clark Radio.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantopoulos family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, the PGA Tour's best are coming to Maryland. The 2025 BMW Championship tees off August 12th through 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills. See the top 50 players battle it out in the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Don't miss your chance to witness world-class golf, fan experiences, and unforgettable moments. Tickets are on sale now at BMWChampionship.com. The BMW Championship, where legends take the lead.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at DriveEasyMD.com.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Want to improve your golf game or learn to play for the first time? The Baltimore Golf Academy has fun, instructional programs for the beginner golfer to everyday players. The Baltimore Golf Academy can take your game to the next level. Enroll today at baltimoregolfacademy.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR, and it is a Thursday, and so Griffin says, hey, we got to do this. All right, fine. Go ahead.
It's Fighting Words with Griffin Bass.
Fighting Words brought to you this week by Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Frederick, and Columbia. Men of a certain age, struggling, just dealing with things you're not used to dealing with. Feeling run down, feeling sluggish, stubborn belly fat. That, like, when you're in your 20s, man, you start going to the gym, it's all good, do some crunches, but you're like, man, I can't get this belly fat to come off. Or perhaps you're dealing with performance issues in the bedroom, erectile dysfunction. This is the place to go to talk about all that stuff. It's not stuff that you want to talk about when you're hanging out with the guys. You need somewhere to go where it's a safe space for men, and that's the best way that I can describe Game Day Men's Health, man. The moment you walk in, you feel very comfortable. For me personally, it was feeling sluggish. It was feeling run down. And peptide treatment has been a game changer for me in that way. But like for other people, it's other things. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. Sign up for a complimentary testosterone test. You can give them a call. Game Day Men's Health in Frederick, 240-931-3717. In Columbia, 443-266-3505. Or in Owings Mills, you can give them a call, 443-264-4454 for Game Day Men's Health.
So it is a slow week for in the fighting world. So last week was UFC was in Abu Dhabi, and it was a pretty meh card. All in all, there wasn't a whole lot. The Renato de Ritter did, in fact, end up beating Robert Whittaker, so that was a bit of an upset there. And I don't know. I thought Robert Whittaker did enough to win, but it was a close fight. It was a split decision win for de Ritter, so now he sets himself up probably one fight away from a title shot. We'll get more clarity on the middleweight division, the 185 division in the UFC in a couple weeks when Dricus du Plessis defends his belt against Khamzat later this month. But otherwise, it was just a pretty underwhelming card. There wasn't a whole lot of action. There wasn't any crazy knockouts or anything like that. Petr Yan got a win. So that's just kind of Petr Yan is just always going to be, seems like that 2-3 top 5 135 or top five bantamweight guy who's not gonna
more than that.
Exactly. Yeah. This week it's a stinker.
You should tell
that
to his face.
Yeah. Well, no, I won't say it to his face.
You
That's
should.
all right.
You should.
I am taller than him, so maybe.
Right? No, I don't think that's gonna make a difference.
You don't think that'll work?
I don't think so.
It's a stinker card this weekend. They're back in the Apex, and it is
by the Apex a few times.
Oh yeah. How did it look like? Did it look like
Did it look
like they could fit people in there?
It looked like a warehouse. I don't
know why they don't just even if they have 100 people there each week. I feel like that would add to. And there's 100
people, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean,
yes,
it seems like there's a 2 grandstands of 25 people, and it's all family too. And I feel like they might even rotate them. It's like, oh, once this guy's fights, all right, let's get his.
The capacity is 1,000.
So put 1,000 people in there, or 700. I don't know. Make it seem like an event instead of just in the basement of a warehouse. Anyway, that's where they are this week, and it is a bunch of no names. The headliner is Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun-Sung Park, which should be a good fight at 125. 125 is always good.
They choose to only put 500 people.
That does not seem like there's not 500 people.
All right, whatever.
At least not all. At
ahead.
least not at one given time. So this was supposed to be Tatsuro Taira versus Amir Albazi, so that would have been a fine top 5, or it would have been a top 6 matchup at 125. Amir Albazi had to pull out this week, so Park stepped in. And again, it should be a fine fight, but I mean, this just doesn't have much weight at all. It doesn't really matter who. Neither of these guys is getting a title shot. Probably, they're probably 2 fights away from a title shot. So it's not, it's just kind of and that's really the only compelling fight on the card as well. It's just it is your classic UFC Apex card. So not looking forward to it.
Fun, big push.
It's all right though, because next week another Apex card. At least Anthony Hernandez is fighting on that one. I like Anthony Hernandez a lot. He's a strong 185er. I like watching him fight. Otherwise, again, it's kind of same deal. Just back-to-back Apex cards here for the UFC. Other MMA news, PFL card tomorrow night in Atlantic City, so they'll be fighting in front of people. We like that. PFL welterweight final. It's Logan Storley from Bellator. He has a win over Michael Venom Page in Bellator. He was an All-American wrestler at Minnesota, and he was taking on undefeated Thad Gene in the PFL. So just fights should be a solid. So if you need something to watch on a Friday night and you want to get your MMA fix, that should be fine. Nate Diaz called out Max Holloway. He wants a BMF title shot. Nate Diaz does. So he wants to fight Max Holloway. We'll see if that is what happens next. Because I don't know what Nate Diaz is walking around at right now. Like it would be like I feel like they're going to be asking Max to come up to 170, and I don't know if there's any reason for Max to do that. He looks really good at 155, and it's not like it's 145 to 155. It's like he was fighting at 145 earlier this year. Like that would be. It would be a lot for Holloway to move up to 170 and then presumably come back down.
Is that a great fighter, or is that just two guys you've heard of?
That's just two guys you've heard of. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Which, by the way, they'll take. I understand.
Yes, yeah, for sure. But Nate Diaz calling out Max Holloway. I don't know if that. I mean, I guess they can build a card around it. We'll see. Aaron Pico is coming over as well, another longtime Bellator fighter. He's coming over to fight Lerone Murphy in 2 weeks on UFC 319, so that should be a fun one at 145. It'll be the UFC debut for Pico. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, Aaron Pico is. So he never went to college because he immediately went pro. Like he started signing deals like out of high school, like he signed with like Nike, I think, right out of high school. So he immediately went pro and started wrestling on the pro Grand Prix wrestling circuits. So he didn't go to college, joined Bellator shortly thereafter, and was pretty solid in Bellator. But he's a very, very strong wrestler, and he's taking on Lerone Murphy, and that should be a fun one at 145. We know that, and we'll get that one in a couple weeks. Otherwise, not a whole lot of other MMA news. John Jones was seen at a bare-knuckle boxing event in Russia over the weekend, and apparently Russia, the Russian Commission, whatever it is, I don't know I don't know if it was a proposed boxing match or an MMA fight, but they said, hey, John, since you're retired from the UFC, why don't you come over and you should fight Fedor? And they're like, and we can do it, and kind of similar, not the White House, but we're gonna do it in Red Square in Moscow. Fedor versus John Jones. John apparently shot that down.
Yeah. First of all, it's a stupid idea. I mean, Fedor should not be fighting.
He's 48 now.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Fedor shouldn't have been fighting a decade ago, or whatever the hell. When did I see him in New Jersey? He should have been fighting at that point.
Was that 8 years ago? No, that was
longer than 8 years ago. I wasn't married yet. I don't think. I got married in 2014. Right? Whatever the hell this Strikeforce thing was that I talk about that I went to in New Jersey. He was shot then. So this would be. This is so bad the UFC would do it.
To get Fedor into the UFC, I know we do this every time. I'm trying to figure out. I want to see what that card was that you saw.
It was big Antonio Silva
in New Jersey,
Fedor,
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't married yet.
And he lost. He lost to Antonio Silva.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else was on that?
Was 14 years.
Who else
ago.
was on that card?
Let's see who else was on this card. Fedor, Antonio Silva, Andrei Arlovsky,
right.
Sergey Kharitonov.
Who?
So he fought or he lost to Sergey Kharitonov.
Kharitonov, yeah.
Kharitonov, there it is.
Yep.
John Vellante, he got knocked out by Chad Griggs. Not Alistair Overeem, but Valentin Overeem.
Yeah, Valentin Overeem.
Valentin Overeem. Mark Stevens. Those are the big ones.
Look, it was a card that
Kevin
existed
Roddy.
because they were doing the heavyweight Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Right? That was a heavyweight Grand Prix card. And we wanted to go see Fedor. That was all. We were like, we're going to go see The Last Emperor.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, so Andrei Arlovsky was supposed to fight Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fighting Sergey Kharitonov. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then Daniel Cormier won this.
Right.
Won this,
Who wasn't in it to begin
right.
with.
Yeah.
Correct.
He had to step in. Oh, he stepped in because Alex Overeem had to pull out. Yeah. Interesting. So that's not going to happen. John is apparently still holding out hope, though, that he's going to get on that White House card. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Anything else?
No, not a whole lot. There's no box. At least no. There's like a DAZN boxing card.
Okay.
That's all we got. Tim Bradley was calling out Tank Davis, trying to I don't know, maybe spark Tank Davis into fighting again. I don't know. There was like retirement rumors for some reason around Tank. I'm not sure where they started, but Tim Bradley was saying I forget what he must have gone on some podcast or something, and he said Tank would lose to Manny Pacquiao after watching Manny Pacquiao fight a couple weeks ago. But anyway, his trainer Kenny Ellis said that that's fake news. The retirement, the retirement for Tank Davis. That's all. That's the latest update on Tank Davis. Not a whole lot there.
Well, that and he just more and more issues.
Yes, yeah. He was arrested a couple weeks ago as well. So.
Yeah, it's a bummer, real bummer. Man. All right, very good. That's fighting words.
Did you want to say anything about Hulk Hogan?
No, we talked about Hulk Hogan on this show last week. What would I say about Hulk Hogan? He didn't fight.
Yeah, I know.
He was a pro wrestler.
Well, that's fighting words.
Fighting words is not. We do a pro wrestling podcast.
Combat sports.
We do a.
I don't.
Okay, if you want to start a pro wrestling podcast, or if you want to do mine,
I won't be falling asleep. I will show some professionalism.
If you had the night that I had, you definitely would be falling asleep.
What? 2 shots of green tea?
Yeah, 2 green tea. They weren't shots, dog. These were not shots. These were like quadruples. I looked at my.
I'll take a green tea tall.
I said, are we supposed to shoot this? And he was like, I think we can sip it. I said, okay, good. But then I got to a point in the evening where I was like, nope, I'm shooting it, baby.
Darn, wish I could have been there.
Oh, it was a night. It was a night.
Would have been the hangover.
Oh, my. On a Tuesday.
How else are you supposed to do it?
That's a good point. Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you by the print issue of PressBox. Still a couple of weeks left before this one's gone, so make sure you get it soon. Carmelo Anthony on the cover. It's available at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find PressBox. Read it all, PressBoxOnline.com, that print issue of PressBox. Get it before it's gone.
Was there anything? I'm trying to find if there's anything else. I'll just jump right into it. Yeah, I guess I'll jump right into it. Jose Altuve had his, among active players, his league leading or career leading, it's 41st 4-hit game.
Okay.
Yesterday for Jose Altuve, 41. That is the most among active players in Major League Baseball.
So you want me to name all 40 of the others?
Yeah, name all 40. No. That was his 41st game.
I know.
Let's see. There's 11 guys that have had 24 hit games
that are active.
11
yeah,
go ahead.
With 20. All right. Well, some of the guys.
Yeah, it will be similar.
Freddie Freeman.
As I dive into. Yeah, he's number 2.
Paul Goldschmidt.
31 for Freddie Freeman. Goldie's on the list. 23.
Andrew McCutchen.
McCutchen's on the list.
I'll say Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is 3rd behind Freddie. Altuve, Freddie, Mookie, top 3.
Nolan Arenado.
Arenado's on the list. Just makes our cutoff 20 for Arenado.
Manny.
Manny's on the list. He is 5th, tied for 4th actually.
Harper.
Harper not on this
and
list.
He wasn't on yesterday's list either, was he?
No, I think he was. 1,000
was he?
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't. Carlos Santana.
No, not Carlos.
I only said that because he was
on yesterday's.
Yep, that's the only reason. Okay. I don't think Salvador Perez.
No Salvi.
Okay. Then I don't know. How about who am I? Stanton's not on the list. No,
not this one.
And is that all the guys from yesterday? Have I nailed? Named all of them?
I think you did. Not though. There's one that you haven't. That was on yesterday's.
There was one that I haven't. That was on yesterday's. How am I blanking on who that is? I don't know. I'll try Justin Turner in the meantime.
No, not Justin Turner. 14 4-hit games for Justin Turner. He's 22nd among active players. The guy who yesterday's tidbit was built around.
Oh, is that Springer?
No, not
no,
Springer.
Trout. Right, Trout.
Springer
Trout.
is at 19, so he's not on the list. But yes, Trout's. Mike Trout's. 20 exactly.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
8 including Altuve, so 3 more.
3 more.
We've got. I don't want to give it away just yet, I guess.
I'm trying to think of guys that are hit guys, right? Like so, Arias.
Yes, Luis Arias, 21. Another Padre, so 3 active Padres on this list. There's 2 more.
Christian Yelich.
Not Yelich.
How about Carlos Correa?
Not Carlos Correa.
How about Xander Bogaerts?
Xander Bogaerts. He is tied for 4th on this list, 25 with Manny. So it's Altuve, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and then Xander Bogaerts and Manny Machado. And then, so those are the 2 Padres, Arise, and then there is a Philly on this list.
Is it Castellanos?
Not Castellanos. He's also just outside. 15 for Castellanos.
It's not Schwarber.
Not Schwarber.
Trey Turner. Trey Turner is a Philly, right?
Trey Turner, yes.
Turner.
Trey Turner, 21 such 4-hit games for Trey Turner. So there you go. Active leaders with 4-hit ball games.
You thought I would fail. You set me up for failure.
No.
Knocked it out of the park.
Good job.
Let's get tubular.
Okay, everybody, it's going to be quick today.
What was the main focus today, Coach?
Fundamentals, ball control. It's always huge.
Any early thoughts on the competition this year?
Well, look, this is the best of the best players in the world. It's going to be an amazing tournament.
Tournament?
Yeah, the BMW Championship at Caves Valley. What are you guys talking about? All they ever ask me about is football.
Here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise, and the answer is not much. I know Griffin's very excited because they will play the Hall of Fame game.
I know. What do you mean? What are we bearing the lead for?
The Hall of Fame.
There is. I was like, why is it? Because there's nothing non-sports-wise. So I was like, what are we supposed to watch? Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, that'll be a you thing, not a me thing. Although I hear they're doing, I guess Brent Musburger, this was a big story in Vegas because, of course, Brent Musburger's a Vegas guy, and his son runs VEASAN. Brent Musburger is the Pete Rozelle Award winner this year for the broadcaster that's going in, so they're going to let him, I think, sit in on the second half of the game.
Oh, really? Nice.
Tonight, where
really? As if I needed more
they
reason
might
to
as well
watch.
let him play at 85 years old in the second half of the game tonight. Anyway, Chargers-Lions, 8 o'clock on NBC. I don't know why, but there was I want to know when I wish I could go back in life. I remember I used to get together with friends to watch the Hall of Fame game because we were just that excited that there was football again. But now you could not pay me.
Maybe I should do that.
Braves-Reds, 7:10 on MLB Network. Rangers-Mariners, 9:40. Monumental and Amazon Prime Video for Valkyries-Mystics at 7:30. Unfortunately, the basketball tournament semifinals without Team Shell Shock. That's tonight on FS1. Some soccer. The National Bank Open in Canada continues on Tennis Channel. Round 1 of the PGA's Wyndham Championship at 3. Remember when I just wanted to get Drew off the phone the other day, and he wanted to spend 15 minutes talking about how important this week was for golf? Yeah, but you have all these guys. Here are all the guys that are sitting 74th, 75th, 76th. I'm like,
well, we should have let him talk because I didn't realize it was an important weekend. Why'd we cut him off?
PGA's Wyndham Championship, round 1, 3 o'clock on the Golf Channel. TNA Impact at 8 on Access. Non-sports?
No. Freeform, season 21 of Project Runway tonight at 9 o'clock on Freeform.
Again, I haven't. I don't know.
What are you more likely to tune into, the Hall of Fame game or Project Runway?
I'm gonna be catching up on sleep tonight. This, I think.
No, you're not. You don't get to. That's you chose to go.
I can't wait till I get home and like my kids are just like, hey, we wanted to go do this tonight.
And then Twisted Metal Season 2 on Peacock.
Oh, with Samoa Joe. Starring Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa Joe's in that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As well as Anthony Mackie and...
I have not watched. People tell me it's... I know Jeremy really liked it.
Stephanie Beatrice is in it.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a post-apocalyptic... It's like a Mad Max almost. But like a more modern...
What was the Disney movie she was in? Encanto, right?
Is that what she was in?
Yeah, she was part of Encanto.
Sounds right.
That was We Don't Talk About, but she was definitely in that.
We don't talk.
But I of course, Brooklyn Nine-Nine for Stephanie Beatrice.
That's it.
Oh,
That's it. That is it as far as non-sports.
Not
here.
Not a great night. All right, cool. Thanks to everybody at PressBox. All of our great.
There's only 3 baseball. Yeah, there's only 3 baseball games.
They're all free on MLB TV if you get that.
Oh,
so
perfect.
There's that. Well, they're all free. I guess it doesn't matter if you get it or not. You can get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they're free. Yes, correct. Thanks today to Nestor German from the Chesapeake Baysox. Thanks to Jon Meoli. Thanks as well to Ken Weinman. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the...
Let's go, Max. You're the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max. You're the best wrestler and golfer alive.
Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Is Stan in tomorrow?
Stan is in tomorrow.
He'll help us recap everything that gets done today at the deadline.
And then hopefully stuff, yeah.
I'm going to go back to Vegas. Whatever. So I lose my house. Who needs a house?
People apparently live out there, yeah. So,
all right. Thanks, everybody at PressBox. All of our great sponsors and partners, including the Maryland 5-Star Live Casino and Hotel, Game Day Men's Health, BMW Championship, Crown Trophy, Easy Pass, Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses.
I didn't realize Stephanie Beatrice was the lead voice.
Mm-hmm. HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, the Costa Sin. Would you think I was lying?
Yeah, I thought you were lying.
I would just make that up.
Well, you lie a lot, yeah. So.
Yeah, do I?
Yeah. Like we went over this. Yeah, you care about the Orioles. Ravens fan.
I won't lie, other than what I was doing on Monday night, and I will only lie about that to my family, because that doesn't matter. Costas in Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Thursday night. Go nobody. Duke sucks.